The initiative that your office is going to put forth.
So there are several things. One of the things, I had a bill that was an eyewitness identification bill. This bill got split up. I don't know if any of your listeners or you actually know, but if you go back to 60 Minutes, there was this piece on this guy who was identified as the perpetrator of a crime who didn't actually perpetrate the crime. It's based on a book called Picking Cotton.
Yes.
This is not just his situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is a situation that is not unusual. And so I said, well, the science is there. We know what we do is not the best practice. Let's put in place the best practices. We'll have sequential lineups. We'll tell a witness that the person who committed the crime might not be there. All of the things we know. And the police went ballistic. And they said, no, we can't do this. It's too expensive. We can't do all of this stuff. Well, I said, yes, we can. And so what happened was we put in place parts of it and then created a task force to look at the rest of it. The task force has to come back so that we can actually finish this. One of the big things that was talked about and unfortunately didn't get done in the last session was racial profiling. We had a bill, and through some backroom maneuvers, it got killed at the last minute. I think what's going on in East Haven right now and the anger of some people about what happened in the last session will help us to push that through. And of course, education, which is, I'm not on the education committee, but it's always number one for me. Of course, education is going to be one of the things that we deal with. We actually have some meetings set up with the education commissioner, the Black and Puerto Rican Caucus, to talk about what our ideas are, what his ideas are, where we can work together and where we can't work together, quite frankly. Because we want to be part of the leadership of this conversation. And on an individual level, I will bring back the death penalty abolition bill as always, because whatever we think about what's going on recently, there are fundamental issues of injustice built into the death penalty. So those are a couple of things. And of course, I don't know how to do 2 or 3 bills. So,
and of course, Governor Malloy has got a new education bill that should be coming out of his office too, right?
Yeah, the governor has presented to the state the categories of what he wants to deal with education. He hasn't actually presented the meat on that bone. So, as I said, I'm going to be meeting with several other members of the caucus and some of the education experts I mentioned earlier, with the Commissioner of Education. And whatever the governor wants to do, I'm sure the Commissioner of Education knows as much as anyone, and we're going to see how we can work together. It just hasn't been fleshed out from their side yet.
I want to thank you for coming down, and I want to invite you back, because I think one of the things about what happens in Hartford and even what happens right here at City Hall, folks find out through the media, through some report, that a bill has already been passed.
Absolutely.
And I think this community needs to know the things that are coming up and how they could get involved.
Absolutely.
And if you could help us with that, that would be fantastic.
Listen, I love being here. I love having the opportunity to talk to the community. And I'll say one other thing. During the session,
yes.
I put out information on, I know everybody doesn't have access, but if you join up Facebook and you look up Gary Holder-Winfield during the session, I put up information about what's going on, what bills are there. And actually, when we're in session debating the bills, I actually summarize it as we go.
That's great.
And there are conversations that go on. So I hope anybody who's listening can go there and just connect to me and be a part of the conversation, because I think that's how you get things done better. I've actually changed my opinion on bills,
right,
because people who are sitting at home have said to me, no, you do not want to be doing that, and explain why. So
right,
it's a powerful tool that we haven't used as well as we should. But thank you again for having me.
Absolutely. Gary Holder-Winfield. Well, that's the last beat here on Electric Drum. I'm Juan Castillo, asking you to remember